Forget the console wars, it's time for a video game war, as Fortnite has been nominated twice for the Game Awards once again. And if you guys recall what has happened in previous years with the Game Awards, Fortnite typically gets nominated for 1 to 2 awards, and then another game ends up winning, and then if you're someone who's chronically online on social media, you end up seeing everyone arguing game versus game over if this game deserved the reward, if the other game should have just kind of gotten it anyways, if they should have changed it up because one game gets too much praise, whatever else, right? It turns into a whole entire Mortal Kombat field online based on who ends up winning, and this time we're actually going to be going up again with some familiar faces. Now in today's YouTube video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the rewards where you can actually, like vote for the award and everything else, and tell you who they're actually up against. So first off, Fortnite has been nominated for Best Ongoing Game against Destiny 2, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy XIV Online. Now I've played a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV Online, and in fact I bought Dawntrail, that whole entire expansion and everything else, and I do gotta admit, they do a pretty solid job with that game, right? If you're someone who doesn't really care about Final Fantasy, you probably won't like that game. If you don't like MMO RPGs or anything like that, you probably won't care much for Final Fantasy, but it is crazy to see how that game's been going on for such a long time, and is continuing to get crazy updates to it. Because you gotta keep in mind, Final Fantasy XIV Online released in 2010, whereas Fortnite didn't actually release the Battle Royale mode until like 2016, 2017-ish. I know they had kind of mentioned Fortnite in like Game Informer magazines and stuff years before, but Fortnite is a newer game compared to Final Fantasy, and it is something that has both stood the test of time, continuing to get updates, new expansions and stuff over time, new crazy additions to Fortnite such as modes and everything else, while continuing to stay relevant in their own little crowd. So in my personal opinion, regardless of what wins, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing like a Final Fantasy win or a Fortnite win for this one, or even something like Destiny 2. Now Diablo 4 I feel was kind of just thrown in there to be thrown in there. Destiny 2 I feel is a little bit on the weaker end, because even though they had the final shape and everything, which was an amazing expansion, it just feels like it's a game that we've kind of heard a lot about it not really having the most in terms of, like player retention or whatever. I've been hearing like new season launch, player retention's down across the board in Destiny 2. Really fun game. I just don't think it'll actually win the Best Ongoing Game award. However, I feel it's going to be neck and neck once again with Final Fantasy and Fortnite, and who knows, maybe Fortnite will actually come out on top this time, considering they now have Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, even though Rocket Racing kind of, went real quickly, Fortnite Festival, and UEFN in general. So we just kind of got to wait and see to figure out for that one. But Fortnite had also been nominated for a second award, which is Best Community Support. Now this award goes up against 4 competitors this time instead of just 3, being Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy XIV Online once again, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. Now personally for me, I don't really know how the community support for Final Fantasy is. I haven't really paid attention to too much of that much side of it. So I can't really comment on how well or bad Final Fantasy would be good towards that category reward or anything. Fortnite, I know a lot of people complain time and time again about their community support and how much they interact with the community. Sometimes it feels like they're doing it a lot, sometimes it feels like they just kind of dwindle down and don't do it at all. So I can't really tell you how confident I would be for Fortnite to actually win this award, but compared to other games such as Helldivers 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and No Man's Sky, I feel that it's definitely going to be in that iffy category where these other games most likely are going to win this award. Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know much about it, but I know the actual modding community for the game is massive, and there's a lot of people who actually interact with the devs quite often on Twitter. Now, I'm not for sure how much the devs actually give support to their community or anything, but considering the fact that they've kind of gone down the Skyrim or Fallout route where they've allowed mods on consoles slowly but surely, I wouldn't be surprised if it had a decent chance at winning. We have Helldivers 2, which personally for me, I haven't really paid too much attention to this game after like a month or two after launch, so I once again can't really give you much feedback on that. And then No Man's Sky is in here. Now that one, I just gotta admit, they've been updating the game with free updates that could be their own entire DLCs for years now. I would have seen this one being more likely to win a Best Ongoing Game award instead of Best Community Support. However, I still think, it has a decent chance of winning this award. But overall, in terms of all the competitors, we have Fortnite for Best Ongoing Game against Destiny 2, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy, and then Fortnite for Best Community Support against Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. So it is some pretty fierce competition that Fortnite has to go up against. However, I wanted to kind of make this video to tell you guys about it. If you want to vote for these awards, you can go to thegameawards.com/vote, which will be linked in the description down below if you really want to, and you can vote for Fortnite or any of the other games. There's also like, the Game of the Year award and stuff, which Fortnite wasn't nominated for or anything like that, but it is very interesting to see how we've kind of gotten Fortnite to have consistency in getting in the same two categories year after year, because even if they haven't won the reward, we kind of got to applaud Fortnite and Final Fantasy for both showing up in these two categories basically every single year. I do believe there was one year where Fortnite only had one of the two award nominations, and I think it was just Best Ongoing Game, but they still have continued to show up all the time in these categories with multiple chances for us to vote for them. So even if it doesn't win, right, even if it doesn't win, or even if it does, right, even if it beats out like Final Fantasy or whatever else, I think we should just take that W already, knowing that it's been multi-year nominations for the same rewards now. So it's like, if we keep this up, you know, if the game keeps on going, eventually they gotta win one of the awards, right? But of course, I just want to make a quick little video talking about it. And I also want to say, regardless of which side wins, whatever video game wins, let's not have a game like versus game situation. I mean, if we really think about it, Final Fantasy literally has a Fall Guys event in it that comes back every so often, and Fall Guys is owned by Mediatonic, which is owned by Epic Games, which Epic Games owns Fortnite. So technically, even if Final Fantasy was to win again, it would just kind of be a win for Fortnite as well, because of that collaboration, you know, both teams already being on good terms with each other. So I think that we should just celebrate gaming in general instead of trying to make a war over, no, this one deserved the award, or this one deserved the award. I know some people are still going to take it way too personally regarding which game should have won and which game shouldn't have won, but at the end of the day, it is just an award, and it's not like it's going to cause any crazy chaos or anything else if one game doesn't actually win it over another game, right? It's not really going to change how the game's actually getting updates or anything. And I mean, even at the Game Awards, apparently it's already been rumored that we're going to be getting more information on that whole entire Fortnite OG permanently returning situation with potentially a whole entire trailer. So even if an award isn't won, we can still just celebrate the game in general by talking about all the new updates coming to it, you know, talking about all the crazy work that the developers put in it, and not focusing so much on, oh, it didn't win this award that I wanted it to win in the first place. Until next time, however, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and peace out.